So I'm going to go over some of the key points of inheritance tax in 2024-2025, how the new 10-year rules, and give you some examples of how it works. So what are some of the key changes that have come into place in 2024-2025 is the long-term UK residency test. So if you have been outside of the UK for 10 out of the last 20 years, they have what is called a tail period. And if you haven't paid UK tax for 10 years out of the last 20, you can only be taxed on assets that are in the UK. So for example, if you have assets in a bank account in the Isle of Man or Switzerland or Singapore, and you've lived out the UK for the last 20 years and you have no intention of going back, this can be an example where you can effectively plan at present. So the basics of UK inheritance tax is it's taxed at 40% on anything over £325,000. Now it does get a bit more complicated if you've got a partner under prime residence in the UK, but presuming you don't, this is the base rate and it's likely to stay for this for the foreseeable future. UK inheritance tax is done on domicile, not residency, and domicile is done on a number of factors, including where you have assets, and even in certain cases where you have included to be buried. So if you've got any ties to the UK, this could mean you're UK domiciled. So this rule came into play on the 6th of April 2025. Now, to give you a real world example, suppose you move to Dubai. You've been in Dubai for 10 years. If you were to be in there in the 9th year, your worldwide assets will still be taxable. So if you have assets in Dubai, you may have a property. Again, that's going to be subject to UK IHT. But if anything, if you were to die, say in the 12th year or 20th year after that, it would only be the assets that you have inside the UK. So for example, if you have a UK rental flat, that will still be subject to UK IHT, but anything you have in Dubai, your bank accounts, your property, may not be subject to UK IHT. Do you still need trusts? I think trusts can still play an important role, especially with gifting, with the 7-year rule that you have in place. They can work as a good gifting for estate planning. And other aspects to be considerate of is the double taxation agreement, and also some places where you may be living, particularly in places like Spain or the European Union, may have double taxation agreements and also not recognised trusts. So there's something to consider when you are looking at estate planning. So what are some of the key points to consider in 2024-2025 is review your domicile status. It's not automatic. You can do this through HMRC. Consider gifts through trusts to family members, if needed, by life insurance to cover the IHT liability. Keep records on your new domicile. Think about where you're moving your UK assets abroad, and if you are looking to stay long-term outside of the UK, consider moving more of your UK assets abroad. This could even be your pension that could be subject to IHT with the new rules as well. If you have UK property in the UK, remember unless it's structured carefully, it is subject to UK tax. So those having substantial property in places like London, this could be a significant factor.